Wilson was a quiet 13-year-old boy. In the nearby colony, a huge house had just been sold. Before shifting, the owners held a second-hand sale of all their old things. Wilson went there with his mother, and among the many items, his eyes fell on something unusual. A beautiful Labuvu doll. The doll had bright blue glass, like eyes, a wide smile, soft rabbit-like ears, and shiny golden fur. Even though it was old, Wilson felt a strange attachment to it. He also thought that if he showed this doll to his friends, they would be super excited, and he would become popular too. After a lot of insistence, his mother Ella finally bought him the doll. At home, Wilson placed the doll on his shelf and began doing his homework. But every time his eyes drifted toward the doll, it seemed to be smiling at him, almost as if calling him closer. Unable to resist, Wilson left his homework and started playing with the doll. Just then, his mother called him downstairs. The moment Wilson placed the doll back on the shelf and stepped away, a heavy metal trophy fell from the top shelf, right where Wilson had been standing. Had he not moved, it would have crushed his head. Wilson was shaken but didn't tell his mother. Instead, he quietly placed the trophy back and went downstairs. From that day, strange incidents began happening. Light bulbs would suddenly burst, glass windows developed cracks on their own, and objects kept falling around the house. Stranger still, Wilson noticed the doll's smile seemed to grow wider each day. When he told his father dismissed it as his imagination, but promised to throw the doll away the next day. That night, Wilson was woken by a loud crash and his father's scream. Running out, he saw his father lying injured at the bottom of the stairs, and when Wilson turned, the Labuvu doll was lying right next to his face, smiling at him. Terrified, Wilson threw the doll aside and ran. His mother rushed his father to the hospital, leaving Wilson home alone. When he tried to sleep on the sofa, the next morning he woke to find the doll lying right beside him again. His mother finally threw the doll in the dustbin outside. Wilson felt relief until that night. While watching TV, he noticed a rocking chair moving by itself. When he looked closely, the Labuvu doll was sitting there, staring back at him. This time, its eyes moved. The next day, Wilson went back to the house where the sale had been held. The house was empty, but the guard told him something chilling. The doll had been bought from a toy shop in China. Since the day it entered that family's house, everything went downhill. The family members fell sick, they lost money, and constant fights broke out. Eventually, they sold the house and the doll with it. The guard also said that from inside the house, people often heard strange laughter. But ever since the doll left, the laughter stopped. Wilson later took the doll to school and threw it away in the playground. But his best friend Chris picked it up, teasing Wilson for being scared of a toy. At that very moment, a baseball came flying at Chris, knocking him down. His head hit a sharp nail on the ground, killing him instantly. Everyone thought it was a freak accident, but Wilson knew it was the doll. That night, desperate, he cut the doll into pieces and burned them. But even after that, the doll appeared back in his room, laughing creepily, as though mocking him. The next morning, Wilson's body was covered with bite marks. Terrified, his parents called a priest. The priest declared that the doll carried an evil entity. He locked it inside a strong iron box after rituals and buried it near the house where it first appeared. Wilson and his family felt relieved, until the next morning, when they learned the priest had died in a sudden road accident. Shaken, Wilson's family left the city forever. From that day onward, the doll never returned. But even now, Wilson still has nightmares of the Labuvu doll's horrifying smile. So, what do you think? Was the Labuvu doll truly haunted, or just cursed?